Welcome to the Health Made Easy podcast. Health advice so easy, you'll feel more confident about your body, health, and life. And now, your host, Dr. Connie Jean.
Hi everybody, this is Dr. Connie Jean. Today I want to discuss a little bit of, I guess it's a controversial topic, but I want to really clearly define what healthcare is versus sick care. So today the current healthcare model is this. So more and more people are getting sick every year. And ICD-9 code is a coding system for our medical professionals to kind of diagnose and treat the disease. So we have to name the disease first, right? So ICD-9 was updated to ICD-10 this past year, and the number of diagnoses increased from 120,000 to 155,000 difference in disease. This is important for us to note as practitioners because this is how we get paid. We have to code things just right for us to get paid through the insurance systems. So we have a lot more diseases. And the obesity rate has increased from less than 20% to over 25% in the last 20 years. And the incidence of childhood diabetes today is 1 in 3. So let's talk a little bit about disease versus symptoms. So conventional medicine is busy treating symptoms rather than addressing the root cause of the issue. And with diabetes, for example, doctors are quick to place patients on insulin to drive down their blood sugar levels instead of looking to see first if their food intake and nutrient levels could be the cause of rising blood sugar. We should stop mopping the water off the floor and instead perhaps even think about turning the faucet off, right? So we use drugs as ammunition in the medical community, but the drugs don't fix the root cause of our disease. They only mask the symptoms. And within autoimmune or even chronic conditions, we're looking at the systemic dysfunction. So medications interfere with the metabolic pathways that enable our mitochondria to function and produce energy. And this leaves us with fatigue, muscle weakness, foggy brain, and depression. These are secondary effects from the medications. Sound familiar? So, what is functional medicine? Well, it looks at the bird's eye view of all your systems and how they are personalized to you. Functional medicine is a shift from treating the organs, respective organs like kidneys, liver, and the heart, to the whole organism. So you, the whole you. So the approach is you remove what causes imbalance, provide what creates balance. That's all that is. And you create balance by focusing on the root cause. Similar to a tree to the right, the roots are where the health of the tree is most important, and the branches and leaves are only an extension and reflection of the health of the roots. As you can see down at the bottom, the roots are what's most important, and that's where we should be focusing on. That's healthcare. That's what we aim to do. Sick care is when you're just addressing the sick leaves. There's nothing we can do up there for the leaves because they'll die off because the nutrients that it needs to get from the soil, that is the dysfunction. So what do? You can't do anything up at the top. But as you can see, clearly the medical system is up there at the root, at the leaves. We're just managing the symptoms of the disease. Like when you go to the ER, they'll give you pain medications or injections of whatever is going to address your symptoms right then and there. And ENT, GI doctors, they look at different systems. They tear you apart and organize you or treat you in respective organs, right? I'm not saying it's all bad. When you're sick, it's good. But I think we often get confused with what sick care is versus health care. They do really well, the sick care, and you have to understand the difference so that you can create health for yourself. So you want to talk about managed disease versus healing the disease. We should be beginning by asking hard questions to where the root cause is in order to eliminate the symptoms once and for all. For example, depression is a name for combinations of specific symptoms, not of Prozac deficiency or antidepressant deficiency. In the similar way, high cholesterol is not a statin deficiency, right? And in the case of depression, we need to look at the variety of causes, including B12 deficiency, gluten sensitivity, vitamin D deficiency, antibiotic use, mercury toxicity, processed food consumptions, and such. So Let's talk a little bit about integrative medicine versus functional medicine because I think these terminologies are confusing all of you. So, integrative medicine is using alternative therapies in conjunction with conventional medicine. For example, you're open to using acupuncture and meditation coupled with your medications, for example. To me, that's an integrative medicine, right? It still doesn't address the root cause. Functional medicine, on the other hand, is looking at the interconnections and patterns between all your systems in addition to your way of life and understanding your symptoms in order to find solutions. Using the laws of nature to create balance and health is key. And it's not so much about the disease as about who has the disease, which is you. We focus on you. So, my personal experience is that I began training with A4M, anti aging medicine, with a physician colleague in 2009. And she told me, and this is really stuck with me, is that she said in medical school, everybody's on vitamin P because everybody's stressed out. And at the time, I was anxious and I couldn't get myself straight. I was very hyperactive, ADHD. I was really struggling with lack of focus. And she said, Connie, no problem. You can take Prozac and take care of it. So we went to San Jose, California for 5 days, a full immersion with the anti-aging medicine, and met lots of practitioners that seemed like, I don't know, questionable. Because at the time, Suzanne Summers was big, the bioidentical hormone craze, right? Then I found IFM, which is the Institute of Functional Medicine 2011. And as I felt like A4M was very market savvy, and I was really confused at all these doctors and different ways of doing medicine or lack of medicine or anti-medicine, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, from then, I sort of went the whole path with the Institution of Functional Medicine. I completed my AFMCP, which is the introductory full immersion course, and then the advanced modules like immune, cardio-metabolic, energy, hormones, GI, detox, and the review course, case presentation, and finally testing. So physician colleagues who treated me, who were functionally treated or functionally educated, treated me, and I found there was a huge lack because they did all these labs still, and they were treating me as if they were physician minded, still Sickcare minded, to try to like get a microscope and look to the way medical doctors tend to look at the dysfunctions and the disease, right? Because I think it's mainly because medical curriculum lacks the health promotion part of it. And I found that my physician colleagues are still confused because it's such a complex process and it's really about lifestyle medicine. So I think they're so smart because some of the physician friends that I know, they're the smartest people I know. But sometimes I think they make it a little bit too complicated versus taking a simple approach. So I'm all about making a commonsensical approach to healing your body, and really takes a lot of work to really dumb it down in a way that to help you to start to apply it, because it's not how much we know, it's about how much we can use this information and show you how you can use this information so that you can start to create health. Because one thing for sure that I know without a doubt in my mind is that health starts from the inside. Okay. So this is a little bit of an overview of the IFM process. And the only reason I'm showing you this is because, one, I'm not a medical doctor. I have a doctoral degree in physical therapy, and I am a registered dietitian. I have a master's degree in nutrition. And on top of that, I have this IFM process that I've gone through. And I think it's important for you to know that I've been through the process so that I can talk to you and give you my 2 cents about things when it comes to your health. And I have this unique experience and the viewpoint from being a patient as well, right? Really still struggling and waking up daily in pain and figuring out and being scared and confused and frustrated and all of the above. So let's talk about getting to the root cause. We look at all aspects of life in order to get to the root cause of disease. And I think this is really important because functional medicine really is understanding the underlying cause of a disease, such as toxins, understanding what they do, allergens, microbes, nutrition, and stress. Mainly stress. A lot of you kind of triggered this whole process of autoimmunity or even chronic illnesses. Many patients tell me it started way back when, many, many years ago. probably was undiagnosed for all this time, because the biomarkers, the way they diagnose disease through the microscope often it means that it has to show up on the biology or laboratory findings, and oftentimes it doesn't show up. It's a cumulative effect over a long haul. It's coupled with that understanding of the underlying causes of disease is coupled with gene expression, which is the genomics, nutrigenomics, and epigenetics. Genomics are your genes and your set of genes that you were born with. There's nothing we can do about that. But nutrigenomics is all about how you then feed your body to get the right nutrients into your cells. And then the epigenetics is your genetic play with the environment, the toxins, and your dance with the stress levels and such. And you have to consider then the systemic imbalances such as gut, immune, endocrines, physical, spiritual, and psychological imbalances. So questions we should be asking is, was there everything done for you? Like when you see a practitioner, it should be, have they done everything for this patient? And these are really the questions that I ask is, have I been thorough enough? Did I walk through everything that can be wrong? And did I cover everything that I possibly can? And this person, or does this person need to be rid of something like toxins, allergens, and infections, your poor diet and stress? And does this person have additional needs for optimal function, such as enzymes, coenzymes, and nutrients? These are important things that any of your practitioners, when you do consider going to visit, even your rheumatologist, they really should be asking these questions. But oftentimes, I believe that they don't have enough time to ask such questions. So it's all about removing, replenishing, and balancing. And primary causes of disease is who, what do you need to get rid of? Sometimes it's the toxic relationships. Sometimes it's the simple toxins, which are biological, elemental, and sometimes synthetic. Sometimes it's the allergens from food, mold, dust, animal products, pollen, chemicals. And sometimes it's the microbes like bacteria, ticks, yeast, parasites. And sometimes it's the stress, both physical and psychological. And a lot of the times it's the poor diet. It's the standard American diet. We need to look at those things. And what do you need? And asking the question, what do you need to thrive? Food, protein, fats, carbs, and fiber, are you getting enough? And are they quality sources? Vitamins, minerals, hormones as necessary, and accessory or conditionally essential nutrients that you can supplement with easily. And sometimes are you getting enough light, water, and air? Are you exercising enough? Are you sleeping well? Do you have enough love, community, and connection in your life? And of course, meaning and purpose. These are all things, if you're lacking, it can really take a toll in your body and your health ultimately. So, all these things said, that's like the overview, right? So this is a good place to sort of understand the difference between that healthcare aspect and then the sick care, because it's important to ask the right questions to wherever you're asking to kind of understand where you are, like really look at where you stand and get help if you need to, and make sure you're asking all the right questions. I thank you so much for joining me, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Health Made Easy podcast. www.drconniejean.com